Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm star reporter Daniel Berk, and we're joined today at Lowell Stevens football facility by Pac-12 Network's analyst Curtis Conway. Curtis, thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Curtis is in town with the Pac-12 Networks, checking in on all the different schools, and a little training camp pit stop, and you've about midway through so far here.
Yeah.
What school so far has maybe jumped out at you the most, and maybe have you been most interested in seeing?
Well, I'm going to go with Stanford because, when they lost a bunch of offensive linemen, that's the heartbeat to their offense. But they have some upperclassmen that stepped out there, and I was pretty impressed with it. Also, their receiving core, they're not as deep as most, but they have all the right pieces in all the right places. Devin Kajus was a guy who stood out. I thought that he looked a lot better this year. I mean, he had a good season last year, but he slimmed down a little bit. So overall, I want to say Stanford.
I'm shocked that you were watching the wide receivers. I never saw that coming.
That's my first peek. I'm going straight to the field. I'm going straight to the guys that catch the rock.
So speaking of that, tonight when you get to watch the Arizona Wildcats, I imagine you'll be checking out their receivers, and they obviously have a lot of numbers there. Maybe what are you looking forward to with seeing with these guys, specifically at the receiver position?
Well, of course, Austin Hill, number one. I want to see where he is. I mean, does he have a gimp in his stride? Is he coming in and out of his breaks? Because go back to 2012, he was a beast. And people have had that injury before and come back from it, and some hasn't. So that's going to be one thing. The other thing is you talk about Samarji Grant and the rest of the crew. They stepped up last year. They stepped up big time last year, and just a matter of just see where they are, because this receiving core can arguably be the best in the Pac-12. But like I said, I want to see where they are. I'm coming in real open-minded in this situation, no expectations or anything. Just want to go in, watch the guys, see where they are, and go from there.
We're talking to Curtis Conway, and this is the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. And they obviously have an ongoing quarterback competition going here. For you, when you would come into camp, no matter what level you're at, did you like to know who the quarterback was, or when these receivers tell me it doesn't matter, are they telling me the truth?
No, they're not telling you the truth. Trust me. We all have our favorite guy, and he may be the second guy on the depth chart. He may be the third guy on the depth chart. But the reality of it is the receiver and quarterback, they have to be on the same page.
Right.
There's times where you're covered, and if that quarterback has confidence in you, he's going to be able to throw you the ball. You got to be able to develop some kind of chemistry with your wide receivers. They have to know what page you're on. You have to know what page they're on. And trust me, in my career in NFL, 12 seasons, 12 different quarterbacks.
Wow.
Trust me, you have your favorites. You can't tell the next guy, and they're doing the right thing by saying it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, there is a guy that each and every one of them say, man, he should stay in the huddle.
Right. Now, being an offensive guy, how much do you enjoy what Coach Rodriguez does here with the fast pace and the high score? And is Arizona a team you enjoy watching?
You know what? Unfortunately for me as a player, I like old school football. I like the running game.
No wonder you like Stanford.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing for me. It wins football games. The spread puts up points, but the running game, when you add a running game, that wins championships. If you look at the big time college football programs, they run the football and play good defense. And if you look at the National Football League, we just had a real good example of what wins games is, the NFL is leaning everything toward the passing game. Peyton Manning, one of the best ever, and they get shut out in the Super Bowl. So that's always, and that was my era with the Emmitt Smiths and the Barry Sanders running the football first West Coast offense. But as a college football fan, I would rather watch this offense. It's so exciting. And, as fans, you want to see points. That style of football that I like is kind of boring, but it wins. At the same time, what Rich Rod is doing is very exciting. Like I said, you had guys like Grant and those guys step up, Nate Phillips. Those guys stepped up and made big plays in this offense. So it's one of those offenses where you just, like I said, I want to come up and say who's next.
Right. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. For Curtis Conway, special guest, I'm Daniel Berk, saying thanks for watching.
Try this matchup, low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.